Hello, thank you for joining me. I am Magnus Modestus. This is Euro Truck Simulator 2. And today we're in Southampton where we left off. We're going to see what jobs are available. I think we'll take these sausages here to Plymouth so we can continue our journey through southern England and go and check out Plymouth all the way down in Devon. Handily enough, that trailer is right behind me, so it should be an easy hookup. To line up a bit better than that. Okay. There we go. Third time lucky. A little bit fiddlier than most, this trailer seems to be. But we're all hooked up, and off we go. So I'm recording this on New Year's Eve of 2019. Probably upload it today as well. Hopefully, that's the plan. Unless something unexpected gets in the way. So it's been an interesting couple of years. It's been an interesting decade, really, I suppose, as we are about to end it and head into a new decade. Maybe the next 10 years will be a little bit more stable and positive, globally speaking, than the last 10 have been, but don't bank on it. Don't need to indicate yet. I've got a couple of new Let's Play series lined up to begin with the new year, start the new decade off with. So hopefully those will be of interest. In keeping with the simulator theme, I'll be taking a look at Train Sim World, which is out of my comfort zone, frankly, if I'm honest. I'm utterly clueless about trains, but I figure they're on tracks, so I can't exactly make a wrong turn. It'll be very interesting for me to have a look at that anyway. It looks like a beautiful and very well made game. And I know it's quite a popular one, as all the train sims tend to be, so interested to explore what the fuss is about. Also been meaning to play through The Witcher 3 again for quite some time, so I figure I may as well record and upload that while I'm at it. But the truck simulator is here to stay. That's a fixture. I've been meaning to upload a truck simulator series for many years, so now I've finally got around to really making a start, giving the channel a good honest go. This is kind of the starting point for that, I suppose, really, as it was always intended to be. The more astute among you may notice, or may be aware, that I did start this channel a couple of years ago. I started doing Let's Play series on Car Mechanic Simulator, Academia School Simulator, and something else. Isn't that silly? I can't even remember. It was... No, I can't even remember what it was. But unfortunately, after just a few weeks of that, real life got in the way, and I've not really had a chance to get back to it. A lot going on. So now I am back. I've got a clear schedule ahead of me. I'm making a good, honest go of this channel. Well, I say a good, honest go, I mean I'm going to be uploading a lot more frequently than I have been. If people want to watch my content, then that'll be great. If they don't, I'll still keep doing it for me. So I'm not sure quite where we are at this point, but I'd guess somewhere in northern Dorset or southern Wiltshire by now. It can be hard to tell this game, to be honest, because a lot of the English countryside in this game, green and pleasant though it is not necessarily always that convincing compared to the landscapes in France and Italy and the Baltic, all the more recent areas. So that's another reason why I hope the devs will go back, revisit, retouch up the UK as they're doing with Germany, and I rather suspect they will. Though that could be some time coming yet. I think they've been touching up Germany for a good while, and that's fine, no rush. I know they're doing a good job. The more they do of this sort of stuff, the better they do seem to get. Hopefully before too long, this series will lead us across the channel onto the continent, and I would quite like, especially, to get down to Bulgaria, Romania, Turkey, check out that area, which was in the latest DLC, the Road to the Black Sea DLC, where I still haven't been. I hope to get there very soon. Not sure why I didn't just start this profile more out that way, to be honest, now I think about it. Would have made sense. But I think there's something to be said for starting closer to home, a more familiar location, and have that more sense of exploration and, you know, sort of branching out. It feels more like growth that way, more like advancement, progression, in my opinion. I have started profiles before in Luxembourg or in Germany. It always just felt a little bit out of place to me to be starting somewhere else and making my way sort of back towards home, as it were. Hence I preferred to start this profile in the UK, albeit in Birmingham, which is not somewhere I've ever lived, or ever really thought about living. Far too big and busy for me. Well, I have to say, when you live in the UK, you always hear about other places, more often than not in quite negative terms, and Birmingham is certainly one of those places that people like to talk rather negatively about. Oh, and I have been there. It's not seemed anywhere near as bad as people like to make out that it is. I remember the first time I went through there on the train, I was looking at the sort of a little canal going down the backs of people's houses, and the skyline on the horizon. I was thinking that's actually looks quite nice. So I think that's an interesting facet of, I don't know if it's people generally, or if it's just a part of British culture, but you always hear the bad things about other places before you hear the good. Although, you know, other places, the more well-to-do places, you'll always hear the good before the bad, and I suppose generally speaking, as with anything in life, the truth is always in the middle somewhere. Nothing's ever as good as you hope or as bad as you expect. Well, sometimes things are worse than you expect, but hopefully you don't want to experience that too many times in your life. Generally speaking, hope and expectation meet somewhere in the middle to form reality. So as my grandfather always said, if you prepare for the worst and hope for the best, you'll generally be alright. If you always expect the worst, you can never be disappointed. I'm not sure if that's a good maxim to live by, or really a very pessimistic and rather depressing one. But it seems to work for him. So I think we should be not too far from our destination now. We may very well be in Devon at this point. I can't make out what road we're on, but as we are on an A road rather than a motorway, it's entirely possible that we're already well into Devon, because of course in real life the motorway stops at Exeter and it's A roads from there on. Which makes things especially interesting in the summer, especially if you go to Cornwall in the summer and find yourself in a very long queue of traffic of other people also headed to Cornwall for the summer. On quite small roads, well, you know, normal roads, but far too small for the volume of traffic that uses them in the high summer months. Let's put it that way. I mean, I certainly shan't knock Cornwall. It's a lovely, lovely part of the world. Absolutely beautiful county. Gorgeous beaches. Gorgeous countryside. Very rightly, you know, popular. It deserves to be as popular as it is. But it's quite poorly connected, really. I mean, the West Country in general, Southwest England on the whole, does not have great transport networks, whether that's road, rail, whatever. But Cornwall in particular is not well served, or not as well served as it ought to be. As I say, especially in the summer months when it's incredibly popular and busy. Of course, Cornwall's not in Truck Simulator. It's not in the game. Plymouth is right on the edge of Devon, on the Cornish border. For those who don't know, it's as far west as you can go, really, in Devon. Well, maybe Devon sticks out further west, further up, I'm not sure. But the point is, if you go past Plymouth, you're in Cornwall, but you can't go past Plymouth in the game. So I think it's a lot more understandable that Cornwall is missing than some other places. There's far less reason for them to put Truro or Redruth in the game than, say, Bristol or Leeds or Norwich, which are also all missing. But it still would be nice to see. I don't expect they'll ever get around to adding any of Cornwall, but if they did, it would certainly be very interesting to see how they'd represent it. Which town or cities they would choose to include, if any. Well, I mean, they'd have to if they were putting Cornwall in, but I believe Redruth and Camborne, I think, combined to form the largest continuous urban area in Cornwall. But Truro is the largest single settlement and the only city. a very nice place, in my opinion. Okay, he's stopping to let me go. I'm not sure that's the best course of action for that car, but I'll take the opportunity nonetheless. And we are heading right here into Metro, who are apparently a cash and carry. Well, I don't run a pub or a restaurant, so I'm not familiar with cash and carries. So we'll park it up properly. It's a tighter yard than some of the others we've seen so far, but it should still be a pretty easy one. There's plenty of room. Swing that around over towards this corner, and stop about there. Okay, this needs straightening up. Might help if I was in the right gear. There we go. And job done. So that's that done. We're here in Plymouth. Not sure where we'll go next, but thank you for joining me. I've been Magnus Modestus. This has been Euro Truck Simulator 2. If you've liked what you've seen, please go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do. And feel free to join me for the next episode. We'll see where we're going then. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.